Hello everyone and welcome to the Stoop. A brand new Allianz Premier 15 season is upon us. We have results from yesterday, so our focus shifts to Sunday. Two massive games today, and it's our great pleasure to bring you Harlequins versus Worcester Warriors live from the Stoop. And great news, we've got a great guest for you as well. Lots of change here at Harlequins, including a brand new World Cup outside half. Bella McKenzie, how are you?
Well, thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me on. Great to be here at the Stoop.
It's really great to have you. It's probably a little bit chillier here than what you used to. What sort of welcome have you had in England?
Well, we had rain on the first day, which was a great English welcome. But no, the weather's actually been really nice, and yeah, along with all the Quins girls, have been very welcoming. So yeah, keen to rip in and to watch the girls today.
Very, very excited about watching you wear the quarters for the first time. Not just you as well, you brought a couple of Aussie mates with you too.
Yeah, we've got Caitlin debuting today at number 5, which is unreal. Super stoked for her, and then M Chance coming over in the new year, which will be awesome to have her over here as well.
But you're not injured, are you? It's just because the World Cup's finished, you need a bit of a rest.
Yeah, yeah, a bit of player management, I guess, there, but hopefully fit and selected for next week. Just see what the team needs and go from there.
So why England? Why now? Why Harlequins?
I don't know, I thought the English comp was always really good, and watching on from afar, and obviously the England national team are pretty high standard, so yeah, just found the Harlequins and wanted to get on board, and yeah, super stoked that I'm here now.
Super stoked to have you. Look, you're going to be joining us to commentate on the game today, but it would be remiss of me to have you here in front of this great audience and not talk to you about the World Cup, because here in the UK, people absolutely loved it. They were up at all hours watching it. They were filling pubs and having watch parties at stupid o'clock in the morning, turning up in their pyjamas, and it really seemed to capture the imagination for the sport. What did it feel like to play in, to strap on that Australian jersey and really do your country proud? Yeah,
it was a childhood dream, and to have that come to fruition was unreal, and to debut at the World Cup with heaps of my best mates was awesome, and yeah, just really looking forward to the season here, the Harlequin season here now. So yeah, just grateful to be here and grateful for the experiences that we had at the World Cup as well.
Happy with how it went?
Yeah, look, obviously 2 from 3 pool games is pretty good, and then losing to England in the quarters was always going to be a hard task to get up for, but yeah, I was just really proud of how the girls, we stuck to our game plan, and obviously results didn't go our way, but yeah, lots of things to work on and build on for the next coming years as well.
Well, everyone at Harlequins was really excited because M Chancellor, who's your pal, who's also joining us, did score against England. I think there were a few quarters fans who were like, well, we're annoyed that England have conceded, but we're pleased that she scored. What about this week then? Because you are new to the group, but what's the excitement been like? What's the build-up been like as you look towards the first home game of the season?
Yeah, the build-up's been awesome. The girls are stuck in, really ripped in at training, and the girls selected today, I'm sure, will put on a good performance, and in front of the home fans here at the Stoop. So yeah, training's been awesome. The girls have been really welcoming and very helpful, learning the new structure and systems and things like that. So yeah, just keen to see how the girls go.
Me too. We are counting down to kick-off. It's going to be a great game. Worcester Warriors have flown out of the blocks. They've actually already beaten this Harlequins team and Exeter Chiefs in the Cup in tight games. They're all set and ready to go, as are we. It's not just new signings on the playing front, there's also a new signing on the coaching front. Amy Turner is in charge here at the Stoop now, and we had a little chat to her before kick-off. Lots to talk about. The season as a whole, match day 1 in the Allianz Premier 15s, but first question, how good does it feel to be back?
Well, the music's on already, people are arriving, so it's great, and the players love being at home, so the vibe in the camp is really good.
You've had a few cup games, results have been up, results have been down, but it feels like a fresh start now the league season is here. What are your expectations, firstly, for today?
Build on our performance. We've definitely built through the campaign from Prem Cup, and we want to take that into the Premiership. And we want to come away with a win, but we've got to make sure performance is right first, and that's our focus.
Some massive names missing from this Quins team for obvious reasons, but some really exciting debuts, some really exciting new signings on the team sheet today.
Yeah, so we've got Caitlin Leaney coming into our second row. Excited to see her go. And we've got Lauren Torley on the bench and Bryony Cleal on the bench, who are also new to the camp, so we're excited to be able to have an impact coming off the bench.
And what about some of the young Harlequins who've earned the right to pull on the jersey today?
Well, Lucy Herrier, you know, she did some really great stuff around our Prem Cup campaign, and we just really respected her hard work and her ethic. So she's playing today, and I'm excited for her.
What about Worcester Warriors then? A lot of turmoil in the club. It's been very public, but they've had a great cup campaign, and they'll be confident coming into today.
Yeah, well, Worcester have gone through the mill the last 3 months, as we all know, and we wouldn't wish that on any team in the Premiership. And them being here is better for the game as a whole, so we respect that. But they are strong. They've had a lot of opportunity to come together through adversity, and they've done that brilliantly, and Joe and Steve have done that brilliantly, so they're going to come out confident to grow that. So we've got to respect that, but we've also got to stick to our processes.
Enjoy today. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks.
Great to hear from the new head honcho here at Harlequins. Amy Turner returns, and this is her first game at the Stoop as the head coach of Harlequins. Worcester Warriors will come here buoyed with some great results in the Allianz Cup, victories over Harlequins and Exeter Chiefs. And let's quickly run through the teams as Worcester Warriors come out of the tunnel. Navy jerseys, golden sleeves. We are live at the Twickenham Stoop, and it's experimental for both of these sides, particularly Harlequins, as they wait for the internationals to come back in. But there's bags of experience in that front row with Vixton, Catlin and Duffy. Ellie Green switches from 10 to 12. She's in a centre partnership with Langi Chuima. Freya Orkin, very exciting when given the opportunity last season. She's a 9 by trade, but watch out for her footwork in open space. Emily Scott is the captain, pulling the strings from outside half. As for Worcester Warriors, the bulk of the team is made up of those players who got a fantastic victory over Harlequins earlier in the season. McNaney at 15, Cox at 13, Laughlin, Kershaw in the backs, and then the front row, Evans, Feebury and Long at 1, 2 and 3 are going to stand them in good stead in the set piece. Adam Leal, the man in charge today. The Allianz Premier 15 season is already underway. Victories yesterday for Gloucester Hartpury, Bristol Bears and Sale Sharks. Saracens versus Loughborough Lightning is happening north of the river. But we're at the Stoop in southwest London. It's Harlequins versus Worcester Warriors, preparing to get their Allianz Premier 15 season underway. Ellie Green on the ball. Adam Leal's whistle goes. And the season begins in southwest London. Well, alongside us, Bella McKenzie. Freya Orkin gets her first touch, and great feet as well. Expect plenty of that today. Davinia Catlin. She will carry non-stop in that red scrum cap. Harlequins look to exit. Emma Swords. Second season now at Harlequins after rejoining from Saracens. Already barking orders. Bella, great to have you here. This is a bit of an observational day for you. This will be the first time you've seen your teammates up close.
Yeah, look, it's unreal to be here at the Stoop and watch the girls play as Emma Swords just unfortunately finds touch there on that exit. But yeah, awesome to be here at the Stoop, and yeah, bit of a different viewing, but yeah, excited to see how the girls go today.
Excited to have your company, and excited to have your company wherever you're watching around the world as well. And don't look at me like that, Bella. We have got a global audience here today. It's been a pretty busy week here at the Stoop, with the Barbarians in town on Thursday for the men's team. And then the Prem Cup team went up to Sale on Friday night, as Adam Leal awards the first penalty of the match in the midfield here for Worcester Warriors, and a chance for them to kick themselves into the Quins 22. A big games for Harlequins Women as well. Excellent kick. They head to Franklin's Gardens, the home of Northampton Saints, to play Loughborough Lightning next week. As I mentioned before, Lightning against Saracens today. Second go at the line out here for Worcester Warriors. Elle Feebury finds her jumper this time. And a penalty advantage coming too. What a start here for Worcester Warriors as this maul marches forward. 10 metres, 8, 7, 6 metres between them and the opening score of the season. Sellers, Diggs, slightly mistimed their run, so Foxwell takes it at a standstill, and Emily Scott closes the door for now. Now the big forwards come round the corner. Oh, massive collision on Elizabeth Schirmer. Sellers, middle of the pitch, tipped on by Feebry. No advantage coming, and we go back for the first penalty. Pretty decent defensive set there from Quins.
Yeah, they just had to stop that rolling maul, and I think they did it pretty well, but unfortunately with the penalty there. But yeah, I'm sure that we'll go for another maul here, so hopefully Quins can get the maul stopped here.
Third line out of the match for Worcester Warriors. This one, 6 metres out. Feebry finds the target, and the maul goes to work again. Watch out for the hooker as she breaks through. Oh, they're close. They're over. Worcester Warriors score first. The early pressure tells, and El Feebry gets their first try of the season. Pressure tells, and El... Well, it was coming, wasn't it? Couple of penalties in a dangerous area conceded by Quins. And that well-coached set piece of Worcester Warriors gives the home team a real shock. They barely had a touch and they're already chasing the game. Vicky Foxwell on kicking duty today. And in the Premier 15s this season, a good goal kicker is going to be a massive point of difference. That's a good strike. It's a good kick. Drained from the touchline. Harlequins 0, Worcester Warriors 7.
Excellent conversion there by the Worcester 12. Hopefully Quins get the restart here and a good chase line and pin them down in the 22.
What a brilliant kick. Talking about kickers being a point of difference, both teams in the game that I was at yesterday, Exeter Chiefs versus Gloucester Hartpury, scored 3 tries, but Emma Singh with that sweet right boot was the difference between the two teams. She was last season's top point scorer in the Premier 15s, and that's another good clearance kick that Freya Orkin just gets slightly wrong. She's got Ellie Green with it. Doesn't need her though as she loses the first defender, and there's Green on the offload. Green up over the gain line. But Worcester Warriors pinch it, and now Vicky Laughlin. It is 100 miles an hour in the first 5 minutes here at the Stoop, and Quins win the penalty. Laughlin holding on.
Unreal scramble D there from the Quins. We've got Langy back from injury, so awesome to see her making that cover tackle and earning her team a penalty.
Which Scott will kick to touch. So talk to us about Caitlin, your Australian teammate. What does she bring to a team, on and off the pitch?
Yeah, Caitlin, she's a bubbly personality. She's great to have around the team environment, and yeah, she brings that physicality on the team, on the field. So really excited for her to get this opportunity and to be starting in her first game. Yeah, I'm super stoked for her.
Oh, that's not straight. Robinson at the back, again she's recognisable. What colour would you say that scrum cap is? I used to think it was green, but maybe it's sun faded or something. It's hard to tell now.
It's a bit of a mustard yellow we've got going on there. Old Robbo with the headgear.
Packing down at 8 since returning from injury. Still a pretty hefty piece of scaffolding on that right knee, but great to see her back. Her sister went well yesterday at scrum half for Exeter.
Bind.
First scrum of the game. How are we looking?
You an expert on scrums?
Look, I'll leave that up to the front row.
We've done a great job. Vixton, Catlin and Duffy winning the penalty. Oh, that was brutal, wasn't it? And that's an experienced front row for Worcester. Evans, Feebry and Long. And that is huge. And with a real powerful front row for Harlequins to bring on in the second half too. Rosie Dobson and then Cherie Cooper covers the tight head side, and a potential debut for Bryony Cleal as well. Huge coup. If she does come on, she'll be the first person in the Premier 15's era to represent Saracens, Wasps and Harlequins. Guess she just loves London. Robinson this time, much better ball. And here's Green attacking the line hard. I think we might see more of that with her at 12. Here is Leaney. And a penalty advantage. Not rolling away, Worcester. So a good response here from the host. Catlin with the carry. Swords, digs and goes up that short side. That's a lovely delayed pass for Langi Tuima. Sometimes when she gets on that outside shoulder, she's unstoppable. Right, you get the choice here. Corner or points?
100% we're going for the corner here. First time they're over the halfway, so... Oh no, and Ellie's decided to take the points.
Scores on the board, but tell me why you'd have gone for the corner. I want to get into the psychology of an international 10.
I would have just backed the line out, and we just won the last one. First time down into the Worcester half, so yeah, back the line out, see how the girls go. But yeah, now Ellie's got a great boot on her, so yeah, she'll nudge this over and game on again.
Last year she did a kicking masterclass with me and taught me so much in a short space of time. Her preparation is spot on. Here we go. She goes through that routine. For the first points of the season for Harlequins in response to that Worcester Warriors converted try. And that's drifted wide. Score remains Harlequins 0, Worcester Warriors 7. Worcester let off the hook somewhat there. Essentially, she taught me how to kick, and I was draining them from all over, and then we turned the camera on, and I literally looked like I'd never had feet before. Very funny.
Blame it on the camera?
Yeah, definitely. Emily Scott stepped inside, and she's chopped down by Steph Evans, and then another penalty at the breakdown. And the celebrations there from Elizabeth Shermer. Massive moment for her.
Great D there from the Warriors, unlucky with the return from Scott.
10 minutes gone. Worcester Warriors back in the Quins half.
That's you, thank you.
Ball pinging around a bit. Pretty decent turnout here at the Stoop. That big stand opposite is empty, but probably 1,000 or so just down below us in the west stand. Front row is coming up to close the door. Duffy and Catlin there, but Worcester don't keep hold of the ball because Davinia Catlin has made a wonderful turnover.
Okay, use it.
And it'll be Swords to box clear. Ella Amory gives chase. Bobbles around, now tackles to be made. Infield it goes, flow long. Oh, big shot. Physical out there. And there seems to be a penalty at every breakdown. Both teams so quick over the ball. Where are you with your jackling, Bella? Are you a jackling fan, or do you tend to leave that to the others?
Back home I actually get called the Minister of Defence, and the girls watching from Sydney, shout out to them, they've gotten up at 1:30 a.m. to watch Katie debut, which is awesome, so they'll back me up. And yeah, big shoulders, but not too good at the old jackling. I'll leave that up to the flankers, and M Chans, when she gets over, she's a good jackler.
Oh.
But no, Minister of Defence.
That's just going straight in my notes for when you make your debut.
Watch me miss every tackle.
Oh, that's fine. Even if I'm not commentating on it, I'm going to text whoever is and say, big shout out. Anyway, that's tipped on, and a good line run by Harriet. And quick ball here. And really powerful running too. A lot more direct from Harlequins. Swords pumps the pass, and Green in it. First receiver. Oh, she floats one over the top. Now, There was a stray arm on that. Is the referee going to dip into the pocket? Oh, just a penalty will suffice on this occasion, and maybe a little bit of luck there for Worcester Warriors. But another chance for the quarters to venture into the 22. Do you remember who gave you the nickname, the Minister of Defence?
I think it was very much self-appointed, but yeah, self-appointed, and yeah, you'll see it in the future.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. I think it's been interesting in midfield, hasn't it? That Ellie Green, Emily Scott duo, and sometimes Ellie's been coming in at first receiver. Nice bit of variety.
Yeah, it's always good to have two playmakers in the team, 10 and 12 pulling the strings. Yeah, keen to see how this game unfolds with the both of them.
I don't think they're going to be seeing it for a minute because Quins are getting the maul started. The backs are ready and rearing to go.
She's not. Okay, you're out now, you're out.
But it's still with Quins. Not moving quickly, but it is moving. Big defensive test here for Worcester Warriors. They've passed everything so far. Here is Green. Little tip on to Lange. She shoves it out to Scott. There's the crossfield. Amory's out there. She's fumbled that. So it'll be knock-on advantage. And then Gio Comerford coming flying in to make the hit. Thought was there with the crossfield, but Amory could have done with being a little wider, perhaps.
Yeah, great idea. Just needed to stick on that 5 metre there.
Well, Gio Comerford was coming off her wing. She's another one who was out long-term injured. Played in some of the Allianz Cup games. Again, just pleased to see her back on the pitch. What we want, no matter who players are playing for, is to have them playing rugby. And can I just say, that was a terrible effort by the crowd to try and catch that ball. No one even gave it a go.
Don't think anyone even said heads.
February, she's been pretty good with her darts so far. She scored the only try of the game as we approach 15 minutes, and that's off the top to Sellers. We get swallowed up by Duffy. Decent line, decent carry. Certainly look physical, Worcester Warriors, as do Harlequins. Some big shots going in. That time Lauren Brooks.
Ball is there. Thank you. Yeah, good effort. Thank you.
Still with Warriors. Inside pass to February. She threatens a line break and threatens an offload. Quinn's over the ball. A little bit too eager over the ball, though. And that's Leaney, penalised at the breakdown. Well, a couple of ventures into the opponent's 22 for Harlequins have been fruitless. Worcester managed to capitalise once. Defence is on top. Lovely line-out ball. That wasn't supposed to go there. And the referee saying off the head, so it's still with Worcester Warriors. Take your luck where you can get it. Shermer. On a kick in behind now, Freya Orkin chases back, but Laughlin is favourite to get there and does get there. What a kick, what a chase, what a score. Worcester Warriors on top here at the Stoop.
That was unreal from Foxwell. Put it in behind. Every good winger chasing through. That was an unreal try from Worcester.
Well, we're going to take another look at this. Well, Freya Orkin had to turn, but she is no slouch. That is wheels from Vicky Laughlin. Harlequins 0, Worcester Warriors 12. Not even 17 minutes gone. And those are the kind of scores that get people watching rugby. Serious play from Worcester. But a few seconds before, I'd literally said you've got to take your luck where you can get it. Ball bounces off the head, scrappy ball.
Would we call that a Falcon try assist there, almost?
But I suppose as an outside half yourself, that's the kind of play that you love, isn't it? Where you've just got to look up, see something, take a chance, and when it comes off...
great vision from the 12 and another conversion from Foxwell. She's really putting her mark on this game.
14-0, 2 tries, 2 conversions. Harlequins 0, Worcester Warriors 14. And the crowd find their voices again as Green gets us back underway. That's a really good touch. And it's going to be a really good touch finder. Soccer skills from Flo Long off the left peg as well.
She'll keep her kicking licence, I think.
Yeah, you couldn't really have asked for a better exit than that. Well, regular watchers of the Harlequins will be used to them having to come from behind in second half. That's a really good take from Duffy. She wasn't expecting that. Slight overthrow. They're yet to click. The home team. Catlin. There's Vixton. Just makes a good metre or so after contact, Catlin. Real fearless carrier.
Time you chase these girls.
Swords. Hey Marie to chase. Worcester Warriors back, and the try scorer Laughlin passing field. Oh, Langi Chuima. Right place, right time. It's one offload too many in midfield for the Warriors. And Vixton. Now Green floats that one out wide. Comerford backs herself the pace and physicality. Goes over the tackler right on the edge.
Advantage offside.
Warriors offside. So free go at it here for Quins. So we approach 20 minutes.
Have the advantage.
Still advantage, a pick and a go, and the backs readying themselves for something. And they need to get the ball first because the Quins forwards bludgeoning their way through right now.
Tackle release.
This feels like an opportunity. But then Worcester turn the ball over. We go back for the penalty. And a bit more incisive, particularly from the pack there.
Yeah, that was just direct and go forward from the forwards, but great interplay between the forwards and the backs in that phase play to get them down into the 22, earn their team penalty, and hopefully look for the rolling maul here with a great touch finder by Scott.
Scott takes them well as close as she could. That is an excellent touch finder. Earning that penalty. And finding the jumper. It's a good take by Robinson. But Worcester Warriors, whether they're surviving in the 22 or whether Quins are making it easy for them is yet to be decided. But it's another fruitless journey into the 22 for the home team.
I think that's 3 entries now into the 22, and we haven't come away with points, so yeah, hopefully get back down there and get some consistency with that line out, or just chuck it up. Forwards do the pick and goes as they like to do it.
How do you avoid frustration?
I think just stay calm. It's a long game, and it'll all click soon for the Quins. It's early days in this game of footy, so yeah.
I was hoping you'd say footy at some point. Great to have Australians in the league.
Not soccer, footy.
No, yeah, of course. Penalty advantage then for Worcester Warriors. Discipline a real issue for Harlequins, and Warriors taking full advantage. And they'll be pleased with their performance so far. One excellent try from the forwards.
Play, but you can't tackle them.
And one highlights reel try from the backs.
I didn't see the number, but it's a clear collapse.
Feebry and Laughlin, the try scorers.
Take on some water.
And Foxwell's trusty boot kicks Worcester Warriors
Quick water break.
back into the Quins half as we take a drinks break. "20 minutes gone then, just the 2 tries to talk about. Yeah, a little break for refreshments, and why not? So you say you've got some mates who've got up at 1:30 to watch this. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Anyone you want to shout out in particular?
Yeah, shout out to, we've got an Emily Robinson over in Australia, but her nickname's
Okay.
Horse, and we won't get into how that nickname came about, but yeah, Horse, she's a bit of a character, so I know she'll be up watching Katie's debut and listening to my commentary debut.
Debuts all round. So she's called Horse, you're called the Minister of Defence. That was the first try there, that driving try by El Fibri. Couple of cracking nudges. Vicky Foxwell's got a lovely right boot. What about some other nicknames then? Has Leanie got one? Has Chancellor got one? Of course, they're going to be making a home here in the Premier 15s. It'd be great to get to know them a bit better.
I think, Leanie's nickname's probably just Leanie.
Okay.
Simple girl,
Yeah.
Simple girl, Chance, Emily Chancellor, Chance. They're both great girls, and it's awesome to be over here with them, experiencing what Quins and England has to offer. Bit cold. We've just missed the Aussie summer, so going into the English winter, I'm looking forward to
It's
it.
not going to get any warmer than this. Let me tell you, when March and April come round, you might get a bit of sun. You might feel the warmth on your skin. Have you got anything outside of rugby that you really want to tick off now you're in London?
I really want to go on the London Eye, which
Really?
is probably a bit touristy of me.
Do the tourist stuff. Do the open top bus ride. Go to West End musicals. You've got to do it all.
Yeah, exactly. Also want to watch a Chelsea football game. Want to watch Sam Kerr play.
We were getting on so well, and then you start talking about Chelsea. Anyway, the game's back underway. Quins on the ball. Worcester Warriors in the ascendancy. And speaking of sunlight, a little bit's breaking through in the middle of the pitch there. For the time of year, the conditions are absolutely fantastic. As Green, just drops that as she dropped the shoulder. And then it goes forward off Ella Amory. So an advantage for the knock-on. But I'd imagine Worcester Warriors will want to play through this because the scrum not going particularly well for them in the first half of this game. Sellers boxes that one. And Scott and Amory, complete breakdown in communication.
Thank you, let go.
And Harlequins in this first 25 minutes, a little bit flat.
Tackle, release! Yeah, you're out, no problem.
Calls of eyes up from the Worcester Warriors bench, but they just run it bluntly down the middle, and a huge shot there by Lauren Brooks. Steph Evans, she's brought down by Langi Tuima. Kershaw takes it to the line. And Quins win the penalty. One thing that can't be questioned from either of these teams is the midfield physicality. It is brutal out there.
Yeah, it's everything you'd expect from round one of the Prem. So yeah, a little bit rusty from both sides of the team, but from both teams. But yeah, hopefully Quins can send this one down into the 22 and come away with some points.
Talk to me about the World Cup. Did that feel more intense than any rugby you've played before in terms of the speed, in terms of the physicality? Was it just going up a level again?
Yeah, it was an unreal experience, and physicality was always going to be the next level, the next jump, versing professional teams such as England, New Zealand. But such a cool experience, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
What was the best bit?
Off-field was pretty good. We got around a fair few pubs up in Whangarei and Auckland, so didn't win on-field, but definitely won off-field, I'd say.
Okay, yeah, that's a claim. What about other sports as well? Obviously, you're an elite rugby player, but have you got any sort of sporting interests outside of the oval ball?
Yeah, I love watching rugby league and just watched the World Cup final, so good to have Australia in both the men and the women.
I say your lot are quite good at that, aren't you?
Yeah, rugby league's our main sport down in Aussie, so hopefully we get rugby up there with the likes of England and New Zealand. Quins have elected the midfield scrum here. We've noticed that there will be a 4-on-2 on this left edge, something we identified at training, so hopefully they can take advantage of that.
set.
And Quinn's on top with the scrum, but going too early.
They're staying strong.
Oh, the eagerness, and another chance goes. Free kick Worcester Warriors.
Not sure what happened with that scrum, but the backs were ready to light it up on those edges.
That's hacked down the middle. Freya Orkin doesn't call the mark, instead finds Ella Amory. She attacks the shoulder of Laughlin and makes a good tackle, the first half try scorer, Catlin. Just had a little goose step there from Zavinia Catlin going into contact. Little goosey from a front row, things you love to see.
You love to see it.
Swords takes her time. Wonder whether there was some space on the left edge there, but it's conservative from the Quins and well taken by Tori Sellers. And a good chase from Ella Amory. Catlin goes low, Green over the ball, but it's well recycled, and Sellers can find Long. She tips it to Kershaw. Kershaw thinks about the kick, and then good pressure from Herriot, forces the knock on. And Orkin.
Freya's been everywhere in that backfield.
Yeah, she's lively. Another tip on. Oh, and another massive shot, that time on Leaney. These two-player tackles, absolutely huge. Now, Green does get the ball out this time, but it's mistimed. Ella Amory not running onto it. Wasn't clean out of the left hand.
Right idea from Green. Maybe just hands, simple hands would do the trick there, not the cutout. But right idea from the Quins, and their face play is looking really strong. Just need to link it all together.
Still just over 10 minutes to go until half-time. A reminder that our clock isn't linked in with the referee's watch, so if this one is a close one, when the clock hits 40 and 80, don't get too excited, because there might be a little bit of juice left in the glass. Well, that's spilt forward.
Right on cue with this beautiful English weather. There's a lovely rainbow.
Yes.
Over on the... What side of the stadium do you call that, Dave?
So we're in the west stand.
That would
So that would be the east stand, yeah. So in the northeast corner.
Beautiful rainbow and the rain.
And the rain, yeah.
Right on time.
Just as I was saying, what perfect conditions it was for winter rugby, because it has been lovely here today. Blue skies, fresh, cool day. I mean, we'd probably call this light drizzle.
Bit of light drizzle didn't hurt anyone. See if Quins can get this scrum right and let the backs play some footy.
Yeah, they were a bit eager at the last one. Interesting, nobody on the short side here for Quins. The scrum about 20 metres in. So everyone on that open side. Gio Comerford out there hugging the edge.
Hopefully they give to Langian some early ball for her. Back from injury.
Scott does get it to Langy early. She shifts it on. Suggestion of a forward pass. Referee Adam Leal happy enough to let them play on. It's just inside their own half. It's slow ball. And Harriet. She's been busy, the youngster. Robinson. Energetic carry. She's got a nose for the try line, Robinson.
Queen's back row getting through a lot of work today.
Scott. Again, Lange. Oh, runs into a big blue wall. Shermer and Evans close that door. Quins resort to the boots. Is that knocked on by McNaney? Yes, it is. And that slippery surface yielding some good field position for Harlequins.
Great piece of vision from Emma Swords there, and yeah, awesome to get the turnover here. Hopefully Quins can get this scrum going.
There's a live show on some of the men's game days, and it's behind the north stand, and Emma Swords came on as a guest, and she's great fun, really good value.
Yeah, she's great. She's yeah, really welcomed Katie and I. She took us on a hike yesterday. We thought it was going to be a little lovely stroll. We both wore our sneakers, and turns out it was a 5-kilometre hike. So wrong attire for the English countryside, but yeah, she's great value.
Oh, I hope you didn't ruin your nice shoes.
It's okay. They're already ruined from the pub, I think.
Well, we'll finish that in a bit, because Quins are on the move here. That looks high. That looks high on Scott, who ducked under it. I think there'll be mitigation. Swords wants to go. Swords does go. Who's with it? Just wants to inject some pace. Solini is going to go the direct route. Carries Quins into the 22. Made a good few metres there, the Australian. Again, it's just slow ball for Harlequins as that bounces through. So it'll be knock-on advantage. And another chance goes begging for Quins, and another chance for Worcester Warriors to clear the lines. Well, they don't want to kick it away immediately, so Buckland has taken that outside the 22, so this can't go straight out. Ellie Green takes it infield. Freya Orkham wanted the short pass, but Green takes the contact instead. Good hands from Scott. Amory. Steph Evans a bit naughty, and the penalties started to mount up on both teams. So yeah, Emma Swords. We were talking about big occasions coming up, how excited she was to be back at the Stoop at the start of the season. The big game on the 27th of December, which is the double-header against Bristol Bears. And it hadn't been announced yet, and she nearly gave away who the act was because she'd been told in confidence. Literally had to grab the mic out of her hand and be like, no, shh!
Is it known now?
It is known now, yes.
And who is it?
How into 90s dance music are you?
Not too familiar, but...
Faithless. It's going to be good. It's going to be really good.
That sounds more like your era, Dave, not mine.
We literally met an hour ago, and you're already bagging me for my age.
Already best friends.
No, it's going to be really top draw. Massive occasion in the rugby calendar, really. Obviously, it's very Quins centric, but it's over the roads, over at the big Stoop, and it's a full house. So rugby supporters come from all over the country. It's awesome that the women's team now get to play the opening game there as well, so there'll be 5 figures of supporters for that. Gets a lot of TV interest, and it's around Christmas time as well. Who doesn't love rugby at Christmas? Knock-on advantage to Harlequins here. The line-out not really clicking thus far. Knock on one way then the other, so it'll be a Quins scrum. Yeah, so hopefully you'll be fit and ready to go for that, because it'd be pretty cool to play over the road, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I've heard a few things about the big game, and yeah, it'd be awesome to be a part of it, and I'm excited for a winter Christmas, my first one.
Oh wow, yeah, of course. What a different experience.
It's already a different experience, this weather. Need gloves, beanie, scarf.
Oh, you've seen
My
nothing.
mum's been harping on to me about wearing thermals, but haven't cracked them out yet.
Is she going to come over?
Yeah, I think they'll come over next year
Oh,
when it's
great.
a bit warmer. They're from the country in Australia, so they're like proper used to heat.
Again, no one on the short side here for Quins at the scrum, but Scott and Amory behind the scrum, offering that as an option. Just keeping the Worcester defence honest. The Worcester defence that hasn't yielded so far. It's not clean out of the back. And it's fumbled by Robinson, so Worcester can reset. 5 minutes to go till half-time, and the visitors have been immaculate inside their own 22 so far. They are good for this lead. Duffy.
Tackle!
Now Scott. Off Green. Just light on her feet, but wrestled to the ground by a much bigger human.
Thank you, let go now.
Catlin tips that one on. Lovely line. That's Mew. And the offload's fantastic. Lauren Brooks. Quins finally looking like they can cut loose, but they pile over the top. They're holding on, and the chance has gone. But a little glimpse there. Mew to Brooks. That was glorious.
That was one for the forwards. Beautiful passing there by the forwards.
But another chance goes. The Worcester Warriors sheet still clean. Looked for all the world like the deadlock was going to be broken. But a couple of minutes until half time. It is still Harlequins 0, Worcester Warriors 14. Oh, I wish we had commentary cam, because everyone would have seen the delight on your face after Katie Mew and Lauren Brooks licked up then. You loved that.
I love to see the forwards, some brilliance from the forwards there. You love to see it.
Certainly do. Worcester Warriors will love to see that line-out click as well. El Febri still going. Quinn slipping off tackles, and Febri goes from inside the 22 right up to the 10. Oh, that looks touchy. Out on the full. They've not made many errors, Worcester Warriors, have they? Couple of knock-ons, but that's uncharacteristic.
Knew you were going to say that, Dave. It's a classic commentator's line. But it is from Foxwell. She's been immaculate off the boot today, and that's one back for the Quins. Hopefully get this line out going, and Ellie Green straight down the middle.
Oh, she's pumped the throw. And as good as Worcester Warriors have been for the majority of this half, Harlequins have killed their own momentum on a number of occasions.
Yeah, a lot of errors from Harlequins starting to sneak in. Hopefully half-time they can sort that out and come out firing in the second half. It's a great take from Freya at the back there. She's been unreal the start of this first half.
So Quins get to build again. Inside their own half. Catlin has gone flying over the top of a stray Warriors leg there. There's Amory off her wing looking for work.
First man won the ball. First lady won the ball.
Turned over by Worcester, and then holding on again. There's been a lot of those holding on penalties. Both teams really contesting that breakdown. What does the Minister of Defence make of that?
I would say leave the breakdown, get 15 on feet, set the line, get that D going, get that jump going, as Quins like to call it.
So you just want to bash people up then? Is that...
Well, I would just leave the breakdown for the people who know how to do it. So not the Minister, not the Minister of Defence. Leave that for the jacklers. But yeah, lots of breakdown penalties going on in this game. I think it's something the refs were probably looking for coming into the match, just to clean up that breakdown, which is awesome, I guess, but no flow really.
Again, it's overthrown, and again, Hannah Duffy has to pick up the pieces at the back. Quick ball's been a real issue for Harlequins, but Catlin, as always, has carried relentlessly. Swords. Green. She seeks contact right in the middle of the park, and now Swords can find Scott if she wants, which she does. Really well done by Foxwell. That's a good read from her. Again, just slows the ball down, and Harlequins unable to get any gain line. Katie Mew. Langi Chiuima. It's a good short ball to Walken, who coughs it up. Just wants that offload round the corner, but Tori Sellers is there. Finds hands, but for the wrong team, and Sherma. Scott. Amory. Oh, that was a good collision. Neither getting much change out of that.
Winger on winger there. Excellent carry from Ella.
And holding on penalty again. That one against Leaney.
Do you take the points or do you go for the line here, Dave?
I mean, Foxwell's good, but is she outside the 10-metre good?
40, I think she's going to go for the line here.
Well, given how well the catch and drive went at the beginning of the game, given the fact that the line-out's ticking over, this looks like a good decision for Worcester Warriors. The boot of Foxwell has taken them back into the 22. Oh, that's a good one-handed take as well. Quins don't send the player up as they look to defend them all. El Febri has it in the right hand. Tori Sellers makes her way in, but she'll be hoping she doesn't need to touch it at all, because this is looking good for Worcester Warriors, searching for try number 3. Swords called out of it.
Don't pull her out. Don't pull her out. She's detached now.
It's been called once, but it's still moving towards the line. Now it goes to ground.
Don't push it into her.
Slow ball. Worcester Warriors ball.
Scrum till we're going forward. It's a scrum, it's a scrum.
And now they'll have the scrum 5 metres out with the full width to work with. And from an outside half's perspective, I'd imagine this is where you start licking your lips.
Yeah, I'd imagine the Worcester pack would like to keep it in at the back here and hopefully push one over. But I'd say the 8 will either pick or they'll give to the 12 and crash and then let the forwards go to work. But I would like to see it get wide into the back's hands. There's lots of space out there on the right edge.
Cara Brinkat wearing number 8 today. She's been an integral part of this Worcester Warriors project. So Harlequins have left one defending the blind side.
Crouch. Bind.
And then Emily Scott defending closest to the scrum. So will Cara Brinkat really fancy it? Lucy Harriott on the open side might have some work to do here. Brinkat does go open and makes a good carry. Quinn's just about making that tackle. It was scrappy, but it does prevent play continuing for now. Siobhan McCarthy.
Thanks, mate.
It's a little bit narrow here. There is space to the right-hand side if Worcester get the ball there.
Tackle.
Back swinging arms, desperate for other defenders to come and join them. Warriors up the blind side. Another pick takes them to within a metre. A third try before half-time would be a real killer blow for Quinns and will put Worcester in a great spot. Sellers is shooed away from it again. It's the big bruisers go to work for Worcester Warriors. This feels like a massive phase of the game. The clock now has reached 40 minutes inside the stadium. This could well be the last phase of the half. Will it change the scoreline?
Fine. Ball was out. Ball is out.
Well, Feebry gets caught behind the ball there. Now it is going to go wide. Laughlin off her wing. It's been knocked on. And then it's been hacked forward by Langi Chuima. Who's going to win the chase? It'll be Worcester Warriors. Now it opens up. There are going to be some tired bodies and heaving lungs out there. Is it going to leave a gap in defence?
Fine. No, stay. You need to step. That ball's out now as well.
Space on the right here for Worcester if they can get the ball there.
They might not need to because they might stride through the middle with Wright Haley.
Yes, you released the ball and got
Oh, Harlequins hanging on here.
back up. Oh,
And Tori Sellers decides that she has seen enough. Her and Worcester Warriors will be happy with that first half performance. Harlequins scoreless. 2 tries. Started perfectly with a catch and drive. Val Feebry opened the scoring and Vicky Foxwell converted with a plomp. And then a lovely kick in behind that Vicky Laughlin chased. It was also converted. Harlequins with plenty of territory, but nothing to show for it. Half-time here at the Stoop in the season opener for both of these teams. Harlequins 0, Worcester Warriors 14. And the travelling supporters have got plenty to cheer about. Quinns 0, University of Worcester Warriors 14. Bella McKenzie, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was a cracking first half of rugby, and unfortunately Quinns couldn't convert in the first half, but I think they'll come out raring to go in the second half. But yeah, great performance from Worcester in the first half, and they really took their opportunities there. So yeah, let's regroup in the first.
Well, let's have a look at the highlights, the best bits from the first half then. Only 2 tries to talk about, but plenty of things to be interested in, really. A really physical game. This was the opening try, the final bit of the opening try. But it came off the back of a Worcester Warriors line-out. The Worcester Warriors line-out has been absolutely excellent, perhaps a difference maker in the game as well. This was the first kick from Foxwell. And that is a marked improvement. Harlequins 0, University of Worcester Warriors 14. We'll be back with the second half.
Short side play now, the in ball for Packer! Good roll and now beating it away to a flying out Vidal! McDonald on the inside of the fullback to beat. Brilliant finish. The right-hand fan come in. Brilliant play from England from behind the red try line. Don't tell me they're taking it. They can't. They won't. They will. Incredible.
Fired away by Jaltema. There he is again, looking for the runners to come piling in close to the ruck. Lauday driven forwards, good power in contact, and Jaltema there again to provide that silky service. Now then, decent head of steam being built up here. Nice from Slevin. Got it away. Held up nicely, and into the corner goes Barnes. Terrific stuff from Quins. First meaningful shot, first meaningful attack. And the try goes to Curtis Barnes.
How about this offload? The timing of the pass, brilliant to create the little half gap. Hands go through the contact, and the ball behind the defensive line. Big scrum for Harlequins this, isn't it? Having lost penalties at the last two.
You've angled out.
Taken by Birch, not hanging about. Powering forwards. Quins not entirely ready, I would suggest there. One man was Reuben Birch. Straight forward, head down, sail on the board. Curtis, great option. Lovely from Rod. Showed the ball, oh, he so nearly went all the way. Read it beautifully. He was in ideal unison with Curtis. It still might work out as they plough forwards again. Byron McGuigan's not far away. From close range they go. Postlethwaite this time, trying to rummage forwards. He's made it.
That's a really nice score, isn't it? Spotted the space in behind the Harlequins defensive line and exploited it perfectly. It's fresh. And then Postlethwaite doesn't quite get there, but he's allowed that immediate placement and he gets there with a second attempt.
Jaltema pops it out for Else. And they try to drive him to the line. Jaltema again, and Lauday will go in. No, he hasn't grounded it. Clever. Tom Lauday leading from the front. He's injected real purpose, real energy since the break.
Try, looks good, Jack.
Harlequins have their second just to cut the gap. Simpson has another little look. And the heavies take over again. Rods still short. The ball a little loose. Postlethwaite. Birch got it done in the end. Made it look like quite heavy weather but they've got there, and Birch has another. Wilkinson, lovely show and go, and he's off at high speed, and he's done almost all the defenders. Clawed down eventually by Zach Carr. That was a really important tackle, but there are men queuing up to the left. Swung wide, and the touchline very nearly found. Tiptoeing inside the lines, and Joe Jones powers forwards. Simpson looks and gives. Ewan Murphy driven back.
Pick the ball up, play on.
Still they move, they're across the line and they're over. Barrow in amongst it. But ultimately, it's Ethan Kane's score, and that is the bonus point for the Sharks.
Little show and go, darts through, backs himself. His support gets taken away, so he keeps motoring, doesn't see Simpson. Just checking, he doesn't put a foot into touch here. No, that's fine there, pass is gone.
Happy, Jack.
Big time.
And eventually, with the assistance of Barrow, over he goes.
Birch just roll it onwards and make sure everyone's on the front foot, and once again siding through Sale and Wilkinson, quite brilliant. He's only been on the field a short time, but my word, we've seen some of his skills tonight. Kieran Wilkinson with Sale's fifth and surely securing the win.
What a break from Wilkinson. Accelerates through the gap, has to sort of hitch kick just to hold his timing onto the ball, and then as he lands, just hits the afterburners.
Let's go.
Out it comes from Murray. And cross field they go. Tester from Slevin.
Has he scored that?
Wow.
Say it again.
He's injured himself.
Very firmly in his arms.
I mean, she's down injured anyway.
I mean, he's
And
tried.
somehow he's got that.
We're just checking if his feet are out.
It's brilliantly gauged by Anderson here.
Let's watch his feet, which land first. No, that's fine.
Oh, it's
Right foot goes down after the ball's been
It
placed.
looks like the ball is grounded before the feet touch.
yeah.
Well, happily back to his feet and smiling too. But that'll be the end of his night.
Ball's out.
Reuben Birch again. One more carry. Simpson just driving up the middle and releasing Harry Thompson. Barrelling his way forwards, brushing off the attentions of Cleves.
Yeah.
Simpson. One more twist here, potentially for Sale, and it's Wilkinson second. The gloss applied. With the clock in the red, a thumping win for the Sharks. Kieran Wilkinson finishes it off. Curtis threads it through. 40 points to 19, final score. And the Sharks on track for the semi-finals in February. They will qualify if Saracens beat Tigers tomorrow. They've got the bonus point here this evening. They've scored 6 tries and they've been very, very good value for it.
Teams back out for the second half. Worcester Warriors have got themselves in great shape, looking for a first league victory against Harlequins in the Premier 15s era. It has not been a particularly friendly scoreline for them in the past. They've been nilled, they've had half a century put on them. But here they are with a 2-try lead, 40 minutes away from the perfect start to their Premier 15 season. Harlequins out of the tunnel, can already see a couple of changes that have been made. Izzy Mayhew is on. There's Gio Comerford. As we take a look at the league table, Bristol Bears getting a bonus point win, Sale Sharks getting a bonus point win, Gloucester Heartbreak getting that brilliant victory against Exeter Chiefs. And interestingly, of the 3 defeated teams, nobody getting a bonus point. Second half underway. It's a low, flat restart that sends Emily Scott, the captain, all the way back to her own try line. And Quins are going to have to clear from inside their own 22. Bella's back. She's been in the VIP at half-time. What was it? Champagne, caviar?
Bickies, cheese, and a can of Coke.
Oh, lovely.
The diet of an elite athlete.
Whatever they say about hospitality at Harlequins, you weren't expecting that. That's a good carry from Siobhan McCarthy. Good early ball here for Worcester Warriors, chasing try number 3. Tori Sellers has a dig again. It's slow ball. Both teams have struggled with quick ball. That one's gone backwards, and Caris Cox picks it up off her toes. Sellers again. Oh, big shot. Lauren Brooks comes racing out of the line to stop Buckland in her tracks. Again, Quins creep up, so Warriors check back inside. Good offload again. Cox gets the Fenton going. Good phase play here. Oh, and so close to being picked off by Scott.
Great line speed from Quins. Unlucky there from Scott. Right idea, but if Quins can maintain this line speed in the second half, they're gonna. It's going to be a great defensive effort there from the girls.
But if that sticks, I don't think you're going to catch it.
Few changes for the Quins. Bryony Cleo making her debut for the Quins.
Big moment. And it gets a lovely, respectful round of applause from the Quins faithful. Yeah, that is quite the coup to bring in somebody with her experience. A Premier 15's champion. Very experienced international. And she's also a really good co-commentator. When she was injured last year, she jumped on a few Premier 15's games. We did a game in Loughborough together, a game in Gloucester together. As we take a look at this second try, that was Vicky Laughlin getting on the end of that kick. Say a kick's only as good as its chase, and that was a brilliant chase. So we're getting to the point here in England where the Red Roses are getting quite recognised in terms of the publicity they're getting over here. What about over in Australia? Are you aware of some of the big names that are strapping on the white jersey here?
No, we're just a bunch of battlers, I think, down in Australia. The likes of M. Chancellor, she's pretty well known in the Australian household. She does a few commentary things, and I believe she's at the World Rugby Awards tonight in Monaco. So shout out to her. I think she's watching while she's getting ready, enjoying a glass of champagne.
Monaco? Is she a big baller?
She's a big baller. She's up for Try of the Year. Our only try we scored against the Red Roses, it was a cracker. So
where she goes sliding in the wet. Yeah. That was so good.
Yeah, that's a chance for you. She's everywhere, that girl on the field. She's an edge player. I think she's on the right, but she'll pop up on the left. She'll pop up in the middle. So, happy for her to be nominated for that award.
Well, there's been a bash in the mouth there. All of the medical team getting busy. That's a bag of ice, a little bit too close to the teeth for me.
Yep, that's one of the reasons why I'm not a forward. one, I don't like the scrums. Two, too much contact.
Well, just seeing there, it appears that all the teeth are still in the mouth, which is good news. So it'll be an all-new set of props for Quins early in the second half. That's Tova's race run by the looks of things. And then Cherie Cooper coming on, and she'll go straight into the scrum. That's quite the introduction to the game. First scrum in the quarters then for Bryony Cleal. Straight away, a little momentum change as well, because Worcester Warriors got a bit of a shove on there. Cast your mind back to the first half. There was a monster scrum penalty for Harlequins.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Well, Sellers not happy at all with Cleal. The referee not happy either. And before the ball's even in, there's a penalty for Worcester Warriors and a chance for them to venture once more into the Quins 22. Foxwell doesn't bite too much off, but this another huge opportunity for the visitors.
Worcester will probably look to their rolling maul here again. They had great success with it in the first half, so hopefully Quins can win that jump.
Plenty of loop on that dart. But then the infringement, a mistake this time from Worcester Warriors. Scrappy start to the second half, still no score. Coming up to 4 minutes gone. Langi Chuima gets real distance on the kick, so she will look to get Quins out to the 22. Davinia Catlin still on at hooker. She's got new props either side of her, but the line out wasn't great in the first half. And we saw her pump that throw. Sometimes when a few don't land as a hooker, you can get the yips, can't you? And it feels like you're never going to land another one again. But that's a good start to the second half. And then Robinson gets them going forward. Real direct carry. Great aggression from Lucy Herriot.
Quins back row is getting through enormous amounts of work here. That was a great carry from the young seven there.
Yeah, a lot of lung capacity required as Katie Mew. She'll spend a lot of time in the back row this season herself. Langi Chuima steps off the left foot. She's tackled. Scott's in there. Worcester sniffing around the ball. Can't get there though. Izzy Mayhew dumped to the ground. First touch of the ball for her. Scott wants it. Scott gets it. Chuima. Worcester defenders like rolling roadblocks there. That's a nice tip. Mew again on the outside. Swords has a dart. No one's there with it. But Worcester off their feet, so they won't turn it over this time. And that particular phase of play brought to a close as they go bombing past the player who's getting some attention.
Great piece of phase play from the Quins. Unfortunate there with an injury to the Worcester player, but yeah, I'd love to see more of that in the second half. And Emma Swords around the back of that breakdown, darting around. It's unreal from her to see that vision and go for it.
Well, with that, after that dart and that bit of energy, Emma Swords has just been hooked, and it's a Allianz Premier 15's Harlequins debut for Lauren Torley. England Sevens player. But you were talking about injecting the pace from scrum half. She will do exactly that. She's a real live wire.
I think Freya will go to halfback, and Torley will come onto the wing or outside centre. I believe she's... Oh, no, she's in at fullback.
So Freya Orkin. She's looked confident at 15, but doesn't want to play scrum half. That's where she's played most of her rugby in the pathway. And she's going to have her first put in at the scrum here.
I think she's one of those versatile players. You put a number on her back and she'll do the job for you.
And she whips that pass out to Scott. Now there's space on the edge for Comerford. She'll back herself. Takes it right to the touchline. And there is Orkin. Robinson. Foxwell driven off the ball. Scott wants to take it to the line and then tries to shimmy through. Every now and then the door will really open for it. Langi Chuima. Catlin clutches that in one hand. Penalty advantage. Worcester infringing at the breakdown. Now Scott and Mayhew. Decent pickup, and Cherie Cooper. Phases here for Harlequins with the penalty advantage. Coming up to 7 minutes of the second half gone. Cleo gets her head down. Now Scott, options to her left. It's Chuima out of the back. Slung out to Comerford. But as the ball goes forward, we go back for the penalty.
Queen's looking to up the tempo here. I think they'll go for the line.
Well, they had a kickable penalty from here in the first half. They missed that. And then Worcester Warriors went up the other end and scored at 14-0. Not sure 3 points will do them a right lot of good. So Langi Chuima with an inside of the boot spiral. I'm not sure if it was deliberate or not, but it has taken Harlequins up to 5 metres.
Great touch finder from Langi there. Get the rolling maul going.
Now the crowd find their voices. Cherie Cooper and Davinia Catlin give the instructions. It's over Robinson, but it is Cleo who gets her first try in the quarters. It's come from an overthrow, but the gap opened up, and Bryony Cleo opens hers and Harlequins' account for the season.
First touch for Cleo and first try in Queen's colours. Unreal from her.
Well, Quins had the Barbarians here this week, and that looked a little bit like a trick play. I'm sure Catlin and Cleo will claim it. But just like Worcester Warriors did in the first half, take your luck where you can get it, and Quins have got a huge slice there. And with that, Vixton is returning, and Cooper going back to the bench for now. Langi Chuima on goal-kicking duty. First arrived as a place kicker in that famous final where Quins became Premier 15's champions. Swings the right boot. Lovely strike. Adds the extras. Quins back in the game. 30 minutes to go. Quins 7, Worcester 14.
Queens just need to control this exit and get back down the other end of the field.
Langi Chuima gets her first 2 points of the season. Again, Worcester Warriors opt in for the deep restart. And what do coaches say? The try doesn't count until you've managed the exit. And they've not managed it well at all. Brilliant for Worcester Warriors, kicking deep, sowing that seed of doubt. But it is Quins' ball. I thought there might have been a little touch on it from someone in the quarters. Catlin goes short to the front, and Katie Mew There'll be at least another phase, though, before they do decide to put the boot to it. Here's Vixton back on the pitch, back on the ball. Oh, Worcester Warriors win the pen. Now, the line-out's been going really well, but I wonder if they might go for the posts here to take it beyond a converted try.
I think they'll look to the corner here and back their line out, back their maul.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Foxwell, reliable again. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you this before. You are in charge of player of the match. So start thinking about it. Around about 75 minutes, I'm going to ask you who's impressed you on both teams, and then a little bit later on, we'll come to you for the final decision. Oh, this looks great for Worcester Warriors. They're charging towards the line. They are over the line. They've struck straight back. Quins score, Warriors score. They're up to 19, and they are good for that lead.
Great decision from the Warriors girls to back their line out, back their maul, and who's that with the try?
Charlotte Wright-Haley got the last touch.
She's a player to watch. Wright-Haley did a bit of, I think, reviewing her this week. She loves the back of the rolling maul try.
Certainly does, and she is a nightmare at the breakdown as well. She was one of the players who was in that Allianz Cup team who defeated Harlequins earlier this year. Fair few of them were. It was Wright-Haley, McCarthy, Flo Long, Feebury, Evans, Kershaw, Laughlin, Cox, McNaney. For Harlequins, it was Orkin, Green, Scott, Swords, Catlin. Plenty of recognisable names.
She's done it again, Foxwell. 100% off the boot today. That's great from Foxwell to add those extras. So important in a game like this.
And it's as you were. It was a 14-point gap at the half. It's a 14-point gap again. Harlequins 7. Worcester Warriors 21. Warriors 1 point away from the bonus. Now Langi Chuima's turn to restart the game. That's a safe catch. Oh, and a safe carry as well. Flo Long gets the legs pumping. Quins reset the defensive line. It's just a different energy about Worcester Warriors. Oh, Foxwell throws the dummy and then goes on to the left boot. Yeah. Lauren Torley needs to be wary of the touchline. Instead, she's coughed the ball up. But Foxwell kicks the ball away, but there was a foot in touch anyway from Torley. But a little sign of that footwork that she offers over there on the far side.
She's got great pace. Give her an inch, she'll take a mile. Is that the old saying?
Yeah. Catlin off, Dobson on. So where are you in terms of the foot races in this Quins group then?
Probably somewhere towards the back, I'd say. Not too fast, but once the hammies get going.
To be fair, your hammies will need some warming up in these cold conditions. You won't be used to that. Out of the back come Quins. Lovely crash ball and a hefty carry from Brooks. Remember, she nearly broke through in the first half. Scott just desperate to get her hands on the ball as Torley hits the line this time. Orkin digs. Has a little go. Scott's the first there. But again, the ball's spewed out, and it's Worcester Warriors who come away with it. It's worth keeping an eye on Emily Scott if you can, if you're watching at home, because every time the ball is with Quins, she's just clapping her hands. She's desperate to get her hands on it. She just wants quick ball, and they've not been able to provide it for her yet. And instead, it's another midfield penalty.
Quins' discipline in this area of the field hasn't been too great. They're just letting Worcester march down the field, so I'm sure they spoke about it at half-time, but yeah, they'll really need to clean that up if they want to get back into this game.
Foxwell has had a great game so far at 12.
Excellent off the boot, right foot and left foot. It's always good to see.
Yeah, don't get a huge amount of two-footed kickers, do you? But that left peg of hers did the job perfectly just then. A few more dropping with injury. That is Torley, she's only just on. But you can do as much pre-season as you like. Nothing quite prepares you for the first game of a league or a cup, or of course the World Cup that you've just played in. All that extra adrenaline, that physicality. Oh, there's no scrum half there. And there is a good chase from the Quins. There's been a change in the back line for Worcester Warriors. Sarah Nicholas is on wearing 23. So Warriors look to pour forward again. Quins up out to make the tackle, but Warriors winning the game line. Approaching the final quarter of the game. That one half charged down. Mew bats it back, and has that come back Tori Sellow's way? Yes, it has. And a penalty advantage. Oh, decent shot though.
Great line speed from Ocken there. Unlucky with the penalty advantage. That was unreal line speed from Quins. Foxwell will be looking to put this one deep into the Quins' half here and look for that rolling maul again, I'd say.
She'll be brimming with confidence, won't she, Foxwell, the way she's kicked today.
Let's be more disciplined on offside.
It is another catch and drive. The old faithful tactic for Worcester Warriors that served them well so far. Another try and they're in bonus point territory. Even with a great Quins comeback, they wouldn't be coming back empty-handed. Now Foxwell got his centre partner Cox alongside her, but chooses to keep hold instead. And another advantage coming, and you wonder how long it'll be before a card's produced, because it's just sheer volume of penalties. Nothing malicious, just infringement after infringement from Harlequins.
Foxwell looking for the line again here. I thought she might have taken the 3, but she'll back her more, back her forwards.
Just shows how confident they are, because I'm always aware of where the score is, and a penalty, 3 points there, makes it a 3-score game.
Yeah, it's great that Worcester want to keep playing footy and get this line out going.
Which they do. They find the target again. And the blue and gold jerseys peel round. Al February has the ball, has Worcester Warriors players with it. You've got Cleland there, hasn't changed her bind, and she's not going to have to move either. This could be Quinn's ball. She doesn't have to roll away. But it is with the Warriors now. Foxwell looks to ship inside. Scott contributes to the tackle. Another good quick gain line carry. Fast ball, good ball. Tipped on and Brinkat. Plenty of Quinn's defenders here, but plenty of aggressive Worcester Warriors ball carriers. And players down on both sides. I think the referee just stopping that because he realised that they were going back in the direction of the stricken Quins player. Great
D from Quins here so far. Hopefully they can get an error or a turnover and then clear it off out of here.
Well, it's Ella Amory who's down. Oh, and they're taking the opportunity to have another drinks break. I wonder if any point of the season they'll forget water and just do tea and coffee because it's so cold, you know, just bring an urn on.
Honestly, or like a portable heater or something. I know when I start playing I'm going to need gloves, potentially.
Well, this was the Worcester Warriors try in response to the Harlequins try. Charlotte Wright Haley. And that was converted by Foxwell. 3 conversions from 3 for her, and she's kicked Worcester into some great positions in the field too. No one in a real rush here, but a few conversations happening, a few breakout ones. Got the backs unit over there, they're talking to Jade Conkle. Quins and Scotland back rower, who actually had some big exams with her job with the fire service yesterday, so I wish her good luck with the results for those, because that's big news for her career-wise outside of rugby if she passes them. Have you got to meet Jade yet?
Yeah, I met Jade over at the World Cup. Yeah, she's a wonderful human being, and yeah, she's been really lovely to Katie and I once we've been over here. So yeah. So
knowing that you'd signed, did you sort of make an effort to meet some of the Quins players that you knew were going to be over there from various countries?
Yeah, after the Scotland game, we chatted to Bonner and Jade a bit. So yeah, it was cool to meet them and yeah, talk about footy and whatnot. Not talk about footy.
I'd imagine the not talking about footy were the ones that you can't tell us on this broadcast.
What happens in New Zealand stays in New Zealand.
So I've heard.
The rain stopped for now, and we've got a beautiful sunset happening over in this northeastern side. Did we decide what that was called?
Better scrum from Harlequins. The ball's out. It's not gone forward. It's scrappy, but again it comes back Worcester Warriors' way. They're just winning those 50-50 battles, the Warriors. And then it does go forward. And it will be Quins' ball. You're absolutely right. Beautiful evening. Bit of glow in the clouds. Aren't you glad you came here now?
So glad I decided to do this commentary gig with you, Dave. It's been the highlight of my trip so far.
Wonderful. That's really good news, actually.
Don't get any ideas.
It'll certainly be better than that Chelsea game you go to. God, what a waste of time.
I know nothing about soccer or football.
Exactly, otherwise you wouldn't be going to see Chelsea.
Oh, well, who do you go for, Dave?
Doesn't matter. I'm a neutral rugby commentator. Carmen Tremelling coming on for Worcester Warriors. Change in the front row, and Ellie Green returning for Harlequins. Change at scrum half as well for Worcester. Jess Kershaw.
Partnering her sister in the halves. Are they twins or sisters? Do we know?
She's moving into the back row. They've just switched jerseys and she's wearing 21. So she's... No, she is going in at 9. I hate it when they do that. Either way.
The sisters are on.
Hashtag commentary problems. Quins at the back. Green straight back into the action. Just that final pass for Ellie Green. Hasn't quite been there today. Created the opportunity. But then it goes on the ankles of Comerford, and it's back with Worcester Warriors since the try. Quins just have not touched the ball, and Worcester Warriors managing this game really well, and then creating some space for themselves on the left side. What a carry that is, and a high tackle. So a penalty coming here for Worcester as they continue to turn the screw.
Quick tap from Kershaw.
Wants to keep the pace high. Wants to add that bonus point try. Buckland. Stolen by Green. That is a good pinch from the centre. There goes up the blind side. Dobson. Moves that on now. Mayhew. Can't show a clean pair of heels. And the heads go back in the crowd once more, because Quins make another unforced error.
It's just that final pass, isn't it, Dave?
Well, it generally is the final pass of the movement because it's gone forward.
Unlucky there, looked at, backwards out of the hands, but we'll back the referee in his decisions.
Taz Bricknell on as well for Worcester. We're in number 20. A few more Quins replacements warming up too. Beth Evans and Beth Blacklock down there. Beth Blacklock, another one returning from long-term injury. Again, talking about results, and it's looking more and more like Worcester Warriors are going to be on the right end of this as they win the penalty at the scrum. Great to have players back who've been out for a long time. The news from north of the river: Saracens 24, Loughborough Lightning 21, and that kicked off the same time as this, so great game going on over there. Again, both teams, similarly to Harlequins, Exeter Chiefs, Gloucester Hartpury, they're without a lot of those big ticket internationals. So if you can pick up some points with those players away, then that'll stand them in good stead for the rest of the season. Gloucester Hartpury, of course, victorious yesterday over Exeter Chiefs at Sandy Park. Sale Sharks getting the win over DMP. And Bristol Bears absolutely thumping Wasps, who might be in for quite a tough season this season. So Bryony Cleo called out Worcester Warriors, just keeping it tight, just seeing this game out beautifully. Still plenty of time left on the clock for both of these teams to improve the current standings, though. Here's Wills, steps inside and gets a really good fend away, Wills. Everyone queuing up on the left-hand side for Worcester Warriors. Another good line, another good tackle. Chance here to really put the game to bed. Worcester has spent a lot of time in the Quins 22. This led to 3 tries. Kershaw. Nicholas into the 22 again. Somebody's lost a boot and it's been launched towards the touchline. That was Cara Cox. Again, the phase play and the discipline here from Worcester Warriors. Flo Long, the latest to take it into contact. Kershaw. That pass was in behind Bricknell, but she managed to get it away. And Feebry out of the back door. Has it gone forward? No, says the referee. So Laughlin out to the second row of Sharma. And she can't find the final pass to Deborah Wills. And Quins left off the hook. This time it's Worcester's hands that let them down.
Excellent D by Quins. I think they held out 11 or 12 phases from Worcester there. So take that confidence in their D. And yeah, unreal phase play from Worcester. Unlucky there with the final pass, just not finding the winger's hands.
15 minutes to go. That means 10 minutes till we need to start talking about player of the match. Big decisions to be made. And if the score remains as it is, I've got a feeling who might be in contention. Oh, we didn't see him. You talked about the lovely glowing clouds. We just had a big group of parakeets fly across the pitch as well. Oh, nature at its best here in leafy southwest London.
Beautiful nature in England, unlike Australia. Got a few dangerous animals. Snakes and spiders.
I was going to say, enough about your teammates.
I don't know what you're thinking. Get your head out of the gutter, Dave.
Of course. What about the hike then that you went on with Swordsy? Where did she take you?
I can't remember what it was called, but it was near the gin distillery. So I've heard good things about the hike and the gin distillery as well.
Oh, in terms of landmarks, that was the one you picked out.
I heard it's Swordsy's favourite hiking spot, just for the hike.
Of course, of course. Jemima Moss coming on for Worcester Warriors into the pack. Beth Blacklock coming on for Harlequins as well. So we take another look at the Cleo try. Great opportunism by the brand new Quinn. And Langi Chuima's race is run. Oh, and the boots come off and the boots come on down there. not happy about something with the footwear. And this is another look at that brilliant try with Laughlin just getting on the outside. Sometimes when those wingers get in the slipstream, there's absolutely nothing you can do to stop them. So 4 tries in the match, 1 each in the second half. In terms of managing the game, if you've got a 2-try lead in your Worcester Warriors, this is exactly what you want though, isn't it? Ball in this part of the pitch.
Yeah, all the pressure on Quins here. They need to get a good scrum and then a good exit.
Freya Orkin in at scrum half now. Green waiting in behind, ready to put the right boot on it. Oh, the scrum from Worcester in the second half is so much better, so much stronger. That's going to be a decent carry from Blacklock. First touch for her back from injury. And then Cleel goes low and she drives and the clear out comes. No hands in it for Worcester, so they just build the wall and make Quins do it the hard way. Orkin with the box. She's kept it on the pitch. And Wills can go in field. Big pass from Kershaw. Worcester Warriors looking to go edge to edge here. Caris Cox tackled but not high. And Scott putting the right boot on it. I think her eyes lit up then as she dreamed of volleying it down the park and chasing it all the way. But instead, line-out ball. Worcester Warriors still inside the Quins half. The scoreboard on their side. The clock on their side.
Worcester set piece really showing how strong they are in the second half here.
Really looping throws, aren't they? But it's certainly working. As is that carry. That is great. Direct. Into the last 10 minutes and back into the 22. That's El Fibri. Oh, but turned over. That's Cleel in there. Doing some good hard graft, and then it spews out the side. And Worcester offside. And Quins going quickly, looking to inject some pace. Now Scott. He's got Green outside her. Better pass from Green this time. Freya Orkin. Katie Mew. She's had a great engine today. Worked pretty tirelessly. Green in at first receiver. Flat pass to Robinson. Quinn's just about up to halfway. Green again, looking outside. It's Mayhew. Steps one way, then the other. Doesn't get over the gain line. Dobson. Scott pumps the pass. There's no gap there. I think she's unlucky to have a knock-on called there. It's back with Worcester anyway, but it looked to go off the floor, then off, out of the hand, then off a boot, but still. It is Worcester Warriors ball. No change to the scoreline. And then Cox on the wraparound and Laughlin searching towards the 22. Unbelievable pace from Laughlin. What a way to bring up the bonus point. Vicky Laughlin with her second try of the match. She had so much work to do, but galloped away from the Quins defenders. Left Emily Scott, left Gio Comerford. And that has put the seal on a superb 70 minutes of rugby for Worcester Warriors. Bonus points in the bag, and it's looking like it's going to be a bonus point win.
Great pair of heels there from Laughlin. She saw the space and took it, and yeah, beautiful try from Worcester. And yeah, hard to see Quins coming back from this, but hopefully get a try so it isn't a bonus point. Is that how it works?
You get a bonus point if you score 4 tries, and you get a bonus point if you win by a converted try. No, if you lose by less than a converted try. So it's up to Quins now to try and get to within 7 points to get that bonus point. And up to Worcester Warriors to try and stop them. And that is a great way of keeping Quins at bay. That boot of Vicky Foxwell, 4 from 4 off the tee.
Hard to go past Foxwell with player of the match today. She's been in everything for Worcester. I think she's got 12 on her back, but she's really driving the team around the park. So, yeah, hard to go past her, and 4 from 4 from the boot. She's doing it all for the Warriors here today.
Well, she's certainly in contention. Let's start to have the conversation then as Green gets us underway. The player of the match is probably going to come from a Worcester Warrior. So who has impressed you in the quarters today for Harlequins? Who do you think's had a good game?
I think the back row, Lauren Brooks, she's gotten through an enormous amount of work in the first half and then the start of the second half as well. Emily Robinson, always strong at the back. And then Lange, back from injury, she's been unreal as well. I think Quins probably needed to utilise her a bit more in the first half to get that go forward. But, those would be my 3 from the Quins. And then Warriors, Laffin with the clean pair of heels, the 12, Foxwell, she's been in everything.
It's Harlequins looking for try number 2. That's a good pass. And now Gio Comerford into the 22. Great carry from Comerford, and Scott keeps the momentum going, wants to offload the ball, and does. Lovely hands from Comerford. Quins going in search of the second try. Freya Orkin, short ball. It's a good ball and a great tackle to prevent the try. But Quins knocking on the door of try number 2. Give themselves the faintest glimmer of hope. There's bags of space on the right-hand side if they go that way, but they keep it narrow. They get over the line, and they get the score. Maybe it's too little too late for Harlequins, but it is try number 2. Nellie Green wants the tee. She wants to get on with it. Quins 12, Warriors 28.
Who was the try scorer there, Dave? I didn't quite catch it.
Well, Ellie Green wants to get on with it. We'll see who gets the final touch. It's Harriet there, and she's driven over. And it is a first Premier 15s try for Lucy Harriet, so a special moment for her. I'm sure she'd rather it on a winning team, but a brilliant moment for a player they're hoping has a big future at this club. Ellie Green needs to make this kick. Does make this kick. Great strike. Quins 14. Warriors 28. Just under 7 minutes to go on the stadium clock. Another change being made by Worcester Warriors. Jenny Scoville coming on. Well, this is fascinating, isn't it? Because you've got two teams who want to play the game a completely different way now. Quins are going to want to play at 100 mile an hour, try and make something happen. Worcester Warriors are going to try and grind it to a halt.
We can already see that game management happening from Kershaw with talking to the ref, trying to slow down play. So unreal game management from the Warriors, and frustrating for the Quins. They want to get things going.
Well, judging by the stadium clock, it's currently stopped, and it won't start again until play restarts. But Worcester Warriors have been ahead for this entire game, but even though they've done well in the Cup, traditionally in the Premier 15, score lines haven't been on their side. And sometimes winning is just a case of belief, isn't it? Do you believe you can win? Do they believe that they can win this game? Because they've certainly earned the right to, the visiting team. Quins told to use it, and they do. There's not a lot of depth on the box kick, but it is going to bounce, and it's going to bounce awkwardly, and doesn't quite sit up for Torley. There's Kershaw. Big shot. That is a great tackle. Beth Blacklock. That is one of the things she does bring to this outfit. Gio Comerford gets wrapped up. Scrum advantage. It's spewed out of the back. And Green. Scott outside it, but instead went alone. 5 minutes to go. Oh, that's knocked on. Kershaw just doesn't get it right, and it's back with Quins. Vixton wants to go up the blind side. Go back for the first knock on, but all the while the clock will continue to tick. This will take up a minute. They are Orkin at scrum half. Quins are just going to want to get this ball in. A reminder that our clock is not linked in with the referee's watch. The official clock inside the stadium has just ticked past 35 minutes for the second half. Next stoppage, you can give us your player of the match. Oh, it's a messy scrum.
Game management again from Warriors. They'll look to probably do a couple of scrum resets, keep that clock ticking over.
Well, let's do it now then. Let's get your player of the match. Let's get a few names from Worcester Warriors, then you can tell us who you've gone for today.
Warriors, it's hard to go past Vicky Foxwell, the number 12, but there were some great performances from the 7, Charlotte Wright-Haley as well, and then Vicky Laffin as well with that last try. But yeah, hard to go past Vicky Foxwell with player of the match here.
Worcester Warriors, number 12, Vicky Foxwell, 8 points off the boot, and some great work all around the park as well. She's the player of the match as Harlequins look to possibly rescue something. Comerford gets trapped behind the gain line. It's Caris Cox who makes a really important tackle. Well, Worcester Warriors went onside and then...
Unlucky there for Quins. I thought we would have had a penalty advantage, but it's back with the Warriors.
And that's probably it now. 3.5 minutes to go. And then Quins not rolling away.
I think they'll take the points here, Dave. Slow the clock right down. And an injury as well.
Well, what that does, if you do go up to 31 points, it means that Harlequins then need 2 scores just to get a bonus point.
Makes it a bit harder, doesn't it?
Certainly does. What a start to the season for Worcester Warriors. Not only are they going to get their first win of the Premier 15s era against Harlequins, they're going to do it with a bonus point at the Stoop. Absolutely huge performance from the Warriors. So we take a look at this second try. Lovely pass off the right hand to put Gio Comerford in space. She really backs herself in the contact zone as well, doesn't she, Gio?
Yeah, she took on that other winger, and yeah, it was awesome for her to stay in the field of play and get the gain line.
And then Harriet had a lot of work to do here. That's not the easiest of finishes, but Katie Mew latches on. They make the score. Toby Vixton comes off. And Foxwell with the toughest kick of the match so far. Clock ticks, 3 minutes to go after this. She'll take best part of a minute over this. From right in front of the sticks, just by the 10. This would be a fair nudge. She's giving it a fair nudge. But for the first time today, she blots her copybook. And Quins are off. Last chance to dance, a converted score. And they come away with a point. Well, penalty advantage, and you wonder whether a hand in there, it might be further action from the referee. No, simply a knock on.
Great game awareness from Ellie Green to touch that. What do you even call that? When you
22.
ground it? Yeah, ground it in the in-goal and then do the short 22 for herself and then get some gain line. So unreal game awareness from her, and another scrum. Hopefully we can strike off this scrum and get a consolation try.
Sarah Moreira comes on. Again, talk about game management. Brilliant from Worcester Warriors. Moreira going straight onto the flank. It's going to be an HIA for Charlotte Wright-Haley. Hopefully she's okay. She was one of your standout players today, Bella McKenzie. It's had a great game. Got the try as well. Final 90 seconds of the match. And it's a free kick to Worcester Warriors. Take nothing away from Worcester Warriors. They have been exemplary today. One of their best performances in the Premier 15s era to get a win here at the Stoop. But some of the ball that Harlequins have coughed up. 2 free kicks at the scrum for going early. It has not been vintage from the home team.
Interesting to take the quick tap here. I would have kicked for the line or perhaps done another scrum and slowed the clock down that way as Quins have turned the ball over here.
Well, we're into the final minute. And there's another knock on. And this should see us out now. 30 seconds to go on the clock. Final scrum of the match. Clock in the red. Worcester Warriors en route to victory. The Warriors want more. They want to finish strong. I mean, there's big shots going in. There's no need for this for Worcester Warriors. They've got 5 points in the bank already. But they want try number 5. And here's Deborah Wills backing herself on the outside, getting away, getting the fend, getting into the 22. But Kershaw's seen enough. Worcester Warriors celebrate, and rightfully so, their first victory against Harlequins in the Premier 15s era at the Stoop with a bonus point. They have spoiled the party here. And at full time, it's Harlequins Women 14, University of Worcester Warriors 28. Worcester Warriors send a warning shot to the whole league. They've been building in the cup, and they've taken that form into the Allianz Premier 15s. And that is the one result this weekend that everyone is really going to sit up and take notice of. Bella McKenzie, it's been great to have your company today. Perhaps not the result that you expected or wanted the first time watching your new teammates, but you have to credit Worcester Warriors, worthy winners today.
Yeah, great performance from Worcester. Look, didn't see that coming, but really good from our girls as well. And we'll look to keep building into the season. But can't take anything away from the Warriors. They were very clinical, and they looked like a team who had been playing together for the last couple months. So. All credit to them, and back to the drawing board, I guess, for the Quins girls, but still proud of the efforts.
Well, that was the first of Vicky Laughlin's 2 great tries. That lovely kick in behind by Vicky Foxwell, who you eventually gave the player of the match to, Bella. She was a real difference maker today, wasn't she? Their set piece was good, but they were very often in those great positions for the set piece because of her boot.
Yeah, she was. 4 from 4 conversions, unlucky there with the last penalty goal attempt, but she was really pulling the strings from 12. Solid defender as well, and she's got a nice right foot and left foot boot on her, so hopefully more to see from her as the season goes on.
Well, Bryony Cleo got her first try as a Harlequin, but Worcester Warriors came straight back into it. This was Charlotte Wright-Haley, another player who was mentioned in the talk of the player of the match. Great score for her, and a great time to score it with Quins just getting a little bit of momentum. Foxwell again, just flawless with the boot. Just the one miss for her today. It was a penalty that was right on the edge of her range. And this from Vicky Laughlin, sensational wing play, sensed a gap, backed herself, and that was a brilliant finish.
Great finish from Vicky. She's got a clean set of heels on her, and every winger loves to look up and see open space, and great try, great individual brilliance from her.
And another conversion from a tough angle from Foxwell. just draws that in beautifully, and that was the final nail in the coffin for Harlequins. They finished strong, they kept fighting. Gio Comerford setting up the move that led to a short-range try. And we thought maybe, perhaps, a grandstand finish, but it wasn't to be today. Lucy Heriot, great moment for her, getting her first score in the Allianz Premier 15s for Quins. Ellie Green came back on, and it was a composed conversion from her. But the third try that would have got a bonus point wasn't to be. Two teams there with very different body language, having very different conversations. It's back to the drawing board for Quins. It's building on the momentum for Worcester Warriors, and that completes the first weekend of Allianz Premier 15. Shows that it's a great league, shows that you cannot take anything for granted, and that is the first of, I'm sure, many surprises that we're going to have in this league this season. Full time from here as we leave you from the Stoop. It's Harlequins Women 14, University of Worcester Warriors 28.